We all think success is about having the perfect plan or the right strategy. But what if the plan isn't the problem? What if real, lasting success comes from something much, much deeper? An unseen internal architecture. Let's dig into what that really means.
Okay, so this is the question that haunts so many of us, right? You have the goal, the vision, the step-by-step guide. You start with all this fire and intensity, but somewhere along the way, it just falls apart. Why? What's really going on here?
Well, the idea we're digging into today makes a really bold claim. The problem isn't your strategy. It's not your goal. It's not that the market is too tough or that you're not talented enough. Nope. The issue is way closer to home.
There it is. The core idea is this. The journey to success isn't some external battle you have to win, but an internal construction project. So this whole conversation is about how to build the person who is capable of executing the plan no matter what life throws at them.
All right, our first stop on this journey is the mind. The argument here is that before you can build anything out there in the real world, a business, a skill, a whole new life, you have to construct it in your thoughts first. This is the blueprint. This is where it all begins.
And this quote from Henry Ford just nails it, doesn't it? It's so powerful because it tells us our belief system isn't just sitting on the sidelines watching our life play out. No way. It's the one writing the script. Your dominant thoughts are literally the architects of your destiny.
This is what we're calling the creator's mind. And look, this isn't about wishful thinking or hoping for the best. It's about operating with such intense clarity and focus that your internal vision starts to impose itself on the external world. It's a proactive force, It doesn't sit around waiting for an opportunity to show up. It goes out and manufactures it.
And you can see the difference right here. It's night and day. The average mind is totally reactive. It hopes, it waits, it needs to see proof before it'll believe anything. But the creator's mind, it's decisive. It acts on belief first and responds to challenges strategically, not emotionally. So that really brings up a critical question for you. Are you waiting for proof, or are you the one creating it?
Of course, having the right mindset, well, that's just the starting line, right? It's totally useless without action. And that brings us to our second pillar, the relentless, daily repetition that turns thought into reality. This is what we call the law of consistency.
So many of us get caught in this trap of waiting to feel motivated. But here's the hard truth. Motivation is just a feeling. It's an emotion, it's temporary, it comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is a law. It's a commitment you make to your future self that could not care less about how you feel today. The person who succeeds isn't the one who waits for inspiration. It's the one who moves regardless.
And this brings us to a critical warning. It's so easy to tell yourself, it's just one day off. What's the big deal? But the harm is immediate and it's much more profound than you think. Because that one skipped day does something incredibly dangerous. It breaks the rhythm. Your subconscious mind, which responds to repetition, gets a conflicting signal. The structure you were building just developed a crack.
And once that pattern is broken, the momentum is dead. You have to understand, success is the compound interest of daily habits. When you skip a day, you don't just lose that day's progress. You halt the entire compounding effect. You reset the engine.
This idea is just captured perfectly here. The world isn't moved by a single, brilliant burst of effort. It responds to the person who shows up day after day with the same focus and discipline. Consistency is the language the universe seems to understand.
So, how do you build this consistency? Here's a framework of 4 laws for daily structure. It starts with waking up on time to take control of your day, then programming your mind by speaking your aim. It's reinforced by taking small, daily actions and maintained by measuring your progress weekly. The key takeaway here is this isn't about inspiration. It's about building and obeying your own structure.
Now we arrive at the third pillar, and it's the one most people try to avoid: pain. The path to success is never a straight line. It's filled with struggle, failure, and delay. But what if that hardship isn't a sign you're on the wrong path? What if it's a critical part of the process?
This is the core shift in perspective. The moments that feel like you're being broken, the failures, the losses, the long nights of doubt, they aren't meant to destroy you. They are designed to prepare you, to forge a character strong enough to handle the success you're pursuing.
History and scripture are filled with this pattern. Joseph was thrown in a pit before he ran a nation. Moses was a forgotten shepherd for 40 years before he delivered his people. David hid in caves before he wore a crown. The crushing always precedes the calling.
So, the crucial question to ask yourself when you're facing hardship is this: am I viewing this as a punishment to be endured or as preparation to be embraced? Your answer determines whether the experience makes you bitter or better.
This quote suggests the purpose behind this pain is to create a testing ground. This process purifies motives and strips away pride. The goal is to build a humble, tested heart that can be trusted with purpose, to make sure success doesn't destroy the person who achieves it. So what is the result of this entire process? When you combine a creator's mindset, unbreakable consistency, and a character forged by challenges, you don't just achieve success, you become the kind of person who is by their very nature unshakable. And these traits all point to the same thing, an internal foundation built on principle, not circumstance. This person runs on commitment forged in private, not on public motivation. Ultimately, their consistency becomes their identity. Success is no longer something they chase, it's simply an extension of who they have become.
And this all leads to what might be the ultimate takeaway here. The idea is that the world acts like a mirror. It doesn't give you what you want, it reflects who you are. The real work, then, is to build yourself into the person who is a natural match for the reality you desire.
So let's recap this journey. It's an intentional process of building your mind. The pain you encounter along the way has a purpose, to forge your character. In the result, the person you become is permanent, a foundation that can hold the weight of any success.
In the end, it all comes down to a simple, daily decision. The world you see around you was built by people who refuse to skip the work, the discipline, the process. The only question left is, will you join them?